I keep on getting these compulsions to make new videos because I'm thinking through my previous video and worrying about, what the audience is going to think about me if I don't give them enough context to see me in the right way. Which is silly. Anyway. So my point is, I realized that I've revealed that I'm like a member of a lot of monthly membership spas and gyms. What is it? InShape City, Equinox, Matria. Any other ones? No, I think that's it. Gosh, but the fact that I have to say that, like the fact that I am sure. Gosh, but I'm so embarrassed that I can't very easily say that I'm sure. Yeah, there's no other ones. And if there is another one that I remember, I will disclose it. So honesty and journalism. Excuse me. Anyway, I don't want you guys to think that I'm an overly lavish or posh person. I would like to think I have a good propriety in spending. So let me justify all this membership to you. Well, so I started my InShape City membership when I moved into my car, which happened in late October, early September. Oh, I am not good with the order of the months. October, November. Okay, November comes after October. So late October, early November. And it's really good to have a place to shower, and that InShape is fantastic. Oh, but again, I wouldn't. Please, only not high class. I need to get out of saying that phrase. Only upstanding. Well, no, that makes me feel bad about having back pain. What would be a right way to describe the kind of people I want to come to the gym, given that this in some ways constitutes a promotion? That gym. Well, I guess I will say we have a fantastically diverse clientele. It's like actually, I'll just say it. I just admire all the members of our community who come to the gym, because actually many of the members of the community, it's like a luxury. They see InShape City like I see Equinox, and they're coming from all over the world, and they sort of esteem this facility in a way that the local populace do not. So yeah, I'll say, there's a lot of international clientele, and they really enjoy and respect the facility, and they see it as a sort of, they have a different cultural context for the gym than do most Americans do it. Most Americans see it as like a mundane place, or they see an InShape as a mundane place to work out. But some of these international, some of our residents who've moved here from overseas, or just other countries, they really appreciate the facilities, and it's nice because it makes me appreciate the facilities. It makes me see the facilities through their eyes, and they are nice facilities, and it is a luxury. I just because I'm an American doesn't mean I should acclimate to gyms that are fancy. But holy shit, now I have to talk about Equinox. Okay. But Matria came first. So I knew Michael personally. I was actually promoting my app on the street. and Michael and I got to chatting, and Michael runs a bunch of local businesses. He's a really swell fellow. So I know Michael just by happenstance. And one of his businesses is Matria Spa, which is run fantastically. Gosh, that guy's so talented. See, because he's actually using his I don't want to say his cultural knowledge, but he's integrated into the Santa Cruz community, and so he actually, you could imagine a very aloof business owner who is not regularly socializing with his own employees or individuals of his employees' socioeconomic class. But Michael is so integrated into the society, and that gives him a massive edge, because what he does, he hires from the society. And so how you hear those commercials for Indeed where they're like, oh, you know how hard it is to hire, you know how you always make mistakes and they commit fraud against your vulnerable employees? Well, use Indeed, because we'll not backstab you with trash employees. Well, Michael doesn't need Indeed. Michael's Michael's Michael blurs recruiting with socializing, with you know, community activism. It's really cool because, like, what's the right wording? Well, like, at that point, it's not like the focus isn't even like the business is just part of the community, and he's like a member. He's not he like. Remember when I said Tim was the head of an unruly teenager? Michael's also the head of an unruly teenager, and that teenager is like very active in society, and so like he gets an edge in business, gets an edge in hiring, gets, you know, an edge politically, definitely, and like I'm impressed because like he's giving me good services at good rates, and he's great at hiring. And I'll say it, I envy that guy. That guy's got talent. What else? Oh, okay, so I'm telling you why I'm a member of Major. So I got fired, and then it was stressful, and then like a bunch of other ridiculous stuff was happening too. There's all kinds of videos of this. Watch the video where my neighbor beats his girlfriend so loud I hear it in my own apartment. I shouldn't laugh. Like, I don't want to say, I don't want to implicate that she was complicit in it, but she was associating with him over months. I will say that I don't think people should, if a person beats you, you should never associate them with them again. And also, if a person commits fraud, hopefully, gosh, I don't know how fraud is gonna go. And I don't want to equivocate. Violence is very serious, and we should work so hard to stop it. Like, if there's a violent crime going on, drop this fraud investigation, go fix the violence, and then once the violence is very secure, like, so I want to be clear, so my fraud comes after our resisting violence in the community. Oh gosh, I sidetracked myself so much. My videos are so incompetent. I'll have to review the video and see what was going on. Okay, right. I was trying to soften the audience's criticism of my superfluous spa membership. So yeah, I got fired for a ridiculous reason. And, well, was it ridiculous? Honestly, when I sent that manager that photo of that bullet, I wanted to compel him to go to the police so that we could begin a criminal investigation. I did not think, but instead what they did is they just terminated me and continued to pretend that the original crimes hadn't existed, which surprised me. If you're curious about why I would do that misread, I never anticipated they could avoid this so long. It's so obvious. You know, like, imagine you enrolled one of your coworkers in disability insurance criminally, fraudulently, involuntarily, and secretly. Oh, dangerous road situation here. I'm sorry. God, it's just pulling in my lane. And then, but like, imagine you actually, like, you didn't just attempt it. You succeeded. Who fucking designed these systems? Where's the regulation? So you succeeded in enrolling your coworker in disability insurance, you know, like, with a long list of, like, unscrupulous qualities. And then, but think about what a disability insurance, and you succeed, which means that when a disability insurance enrollment succeeds, it means fucking money starts appearing in the person's account, and they see it. Like, I have little notifications set up on my phone, and they tell me there's money moving out. Oh, I was getting spam risk. And money moving in. Oh shit. That was embarrassing. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm definitely straying into hazardous road behavior. And the spam risk is straying my personality into an aggravated behavior. So I'm going to break through that. Don't ever aggravate me, fraudsters. Watch my mood, imposters. Or I will turn down your volume by rotating your crown. What was I here? Oh my gosh, I'm such an incompetent videographer. I can't even maintain a thread for a few minutes. Okay, I'll be right back. That honk wasn't at me. I don't know if it captured it. There was a honk nearby. I was talking about oh gosh, I can't believe that I would remember what I was talking about only to be distracted by a honk and then forget. I am so forgetful. Oh, right. Okay, I'm trying to not be embarrassed by how many spas I'm a member of, because I mean, I'm definitely espousing the virtue of frugality in fighting a corporation, and shelling out. Oh gosh, I literally calculated it last night. Matria's monthly membership is $145. So let's add this up. Oh gosh, yeah. Like, I shouldn't be ashamed. Well, no, like, the right way is to look it in the face and then just address the expenditure. So what I said, that one gym, Equinox is $425. In Shape City is $79. So that's gonna be what would it be, like $504? And then Matria is $145. So that'd be $604, $649, I think. So my did I get that correct? Yeah, I think that's right. So $649 is my overall budget. Oh, and then I'll give the explanation of why I joined Equinox as well, because that's important. Or like, I'm giving justifications. I hopefully established that it's justified for me to join In Shape City because I was homeless, and it's really nice and it's so economical. I'm really happy that service is available. And it's just nice. It's nice to point out there's a shower nozzle, not your body. I'm gonna say it, okay? And then it's also nice to have bars to hang from when your spine hurts. It's good. It's just good, okay? And so I think it's economical, because I would join it. I would go there every day. And then if you're fired because you're a fraud victim and management is massively criminally corrupt, and you are reckless and you send photos of bullets to people, then I think it's legitimate to join Matria, because Matria is a great spa, and Michael is like actually really, really cool. He's just like, he's not just a great business owner, but he's actually a very casual conversationalist who has given me lots of good advice. Like, honestly, like, you could even say that Michael inspired the master strategy of staying calm. He's also like a master herbalist. Like, he's very talented in so many domains. It's amazing. And so I think that's a legitimate purchase too, because even though it's $145 a month, which is even more than In Shape City, the facilities are so beautiful, and it's a great place to socialize. And no one who's annoying should go there, because they actually have attendants who pose as other clients, and they monitor all the conversation for appropriateness, and then they actually have a very large person who picks up the improper and carries them out. And that's why there's never actually been an improper person who's interacted with another Matria client, because we've got a very effective net to resist that. And I'm just telling you this because if you are improper, you are going to be ejected and humiliated, and they're going to take your photo and put your photo up on the wall of shame, and then we'll all laugh at you while putting on our clothes at midnight. Oh shit, I shouldn't have revealed it's a nude spa. Fuck. Shit. I don't want to edit these out. I love the organic qualities of it. We have before there was the opening, Michael had Tuesdays with Friends, but it's now a closed. There's clothing mandatory. So, and then again, there's just high-profile conversation and a lot of security, as well as, remember, people who have blended in with the clientele and will just monitor you. They'll make sure you're being fun and polite. So I had to get on that. I had to get on that service, because it's only $145 a month, and there's literally like a James Bond Japanese tea garden with all kinds of undercover bouncers in the middle of Santa Cruz, and that's something you got to jump on if you're a crime victim and a retaliation victim and falsely terminated and having a fun time driving around. I wasn't living in my car at that point in time. Yeah, okay, so I hadn't moved into my car yet. I was fired October 4th. I started my Matria membership October, I think it was almost immediately afterwards. And then, what else? Oh, and then I moved in my car. But my Matria membership was still great. Okay, now let's get to the Equinox justification, because that's the most justified one. We need to figure out who's responsible and what the people who were following me were intending, because there's like a dozen things you could intend to do when following a person. And I was worried about violence because I'm a paranoid person. But anyway, there were people following me, and then the following got to the point where like these people were approaching me and having conversations that were like, one guy told me where I'd driven the day before, and then another guy offered me a sleeping bag. I know that like, how to put it, but it felt like the context was like he was like offering me a body bag. Like, I didn't know the guy. He wasn't someone I knew. He just approached me and he said, "Do you want a sleeping bag?" And this all happened in like the span of a couple days after a particular publication of the episode of the documentary. And so I was really stressed. So I actually thought about how to increase my security. And the first thing I thought was that Santa Cruz is not a very secure city, because it's hard to explain, but it's sort of like, if you think about like population density, like imagine a place like New York and contrast it with a place like, what's a very sprawling city that doesn't have a lot of density? I don't know if, I want to say Salt Lake City, but I actually don't know much about that place. But imagine a flat city that's sprawling. There's going to be less people per like a square mile or acre or any kind of unit of area. And I just felt like that was a risk, because these people, the guy who offered me the sleeping bag, he did it when I was just alone on the street. And I was like, holy shit, it was actually this street. Oh my god, I'll show you the place that it happened. It was, and like, see, what's crazy is that's actually I don't know if it's the police station, but that's like a government office. So it was actually right there. It was right there on, by that government building. It was sort of drizzling too. It was like, it was really stressful. I literally left Santa Cruz the next day. I think maybe it was 2 days afterwards, but it was almost immediately afterwards. And so here's the other thing, like, that just seems like a person thinking about how to make another person feel very threatened, but not cross the threshold into any kind of explicit, threatening statement. Which is like, it's like, I'll say it further, like, I was stressed because it's almost like these people are creative. It's almost like these people are, talented in intimidating a person without, without making it a thing that's easy to report to the police. Anyway, so I'm justifying why I moved to Equinox, or why I joined Equinox. So I was already in my car at that point. These threats came. It would have been the few days after December 10th. So I didn't know what these people were capable of, and I'm thinking to myself, like, a person who can follow me, and then, or like a group who can follow me, and then also like be like artistically creative in their synthesis of threats, which was scary. Like, it was almost like these people were artists, and I'm intimidated by artists. Those people are threatening. So like, these people were creative in their synthesis of these threats, because they were able to make me feel threatened, but they were not able to, but they confined their actions to things that the police would not consider serious. And so I was left in a situation where I was concerned for my safety because of these people's threatening behavior. Nor did I know exactly who had sent them, what their ultimate motive was. And again, I struggle with paranoia, which is not, that's like, do I struggle with paranoia? I actually don't think that's true. I don't know if this constitutes paranoia. I would say I'm actually a pretty relaxed person. It's just that felt very threatening. Why am I calling it paranoia? I'm almost like not even respecting my own assessments. I think most people would feel threatened in that situation. I think it was designed to make a person feel threatened. I think it's totally normal to feel threatened when the person who is directing, this undefined behavior at you is hoping, or like is composing their messaging with the goal of threats. Anyway, so I was in this threat. I was in a mind state of feeling threatened, which again I think is justified because that was the intention of the people threatening me. Why do I have to justify this? Why do I feel like I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so I felt threatened, and I wanted more security, and I thought about how to achieve that. And I actually thought, like, who else in society cares about security? Oh, celebrities do. What do celebrities do? Well, they get all kinds of exclusive memberships at all kinds of places that have high security, because that's the paparazzi's annoying them. And then there's actually a lot of overlap there, because like I also had a fellow film me. There's an episode about that. Also very destabilizing because I didn't know what that guy wanted. I thought, was he trying to kill me? Is this assassination reconnaissance? It's super stressful. So Equinox came to mind. I also thought about hiding in a women's college, because I somehow thought that all the responsible, like I somehow thought all they would be harder to corrupt. Like I somehow thought that the police in like the campus police would be more difficult for the Apple Corporation to corrupt, because I guess it's sort of stereotyping, but I guess I sort of conceptualize women colleges like highly ethical. They almost like overly debate ethics and propriety, and you might say like, well, I don't want to be generalized. This is so stupid. Like that's a broader criticism of most of academia. I would say it's not just women's colleges. But my point is like, I want to show you guys my funny mindset. I thought maybe if I like sheltered in a women's college, there would be like less institution. There'd be less. The institutions would be less corruptible. I'm not sure how valid of a mindset that would be. And I also thought there'd be a lot of women around, which I thought would be like help me relax. Anyway, I didn't go that venue because again, it's not that practical and it's not that concrete. Plus, I think around this time it was actually summer break, so the women were actually at the universities. Anyway, dumb idea. Well, if you are on the run from corporate assassins, you shouldn't shelter in a women's college. Well, actually, I gave it a go. That'd be interesting. And make a vlog about it. But what I did, and had a good success for me. Although now I want to figure out. Now I'm wondering what would happen if I went to a women's college. But what I did is I investigated Equinox. I mean, because like essentially I'd everyone knows that all the celebrities exercise at Equinox. And that the celebrities, and then the Equinox even has mechanisms to keep the paparazzis away from the celebrities. So I'm thinking, I want these mechanisms. Those don't sound like exactly kind of the mechanisms that are gonna make it hard to assassinate a person. I mean, like there's even a game series called, what is it? Hitman. And if you're wondering what the game is about, you're Hitman. Although you're more of a spy too. Like the Hitman just sounds a little crass and street. That guy's like dope as fuck. He's very capable. So like you can imagine the contrast between like trying to kill a guy who saunas at in Shape City versus the guy trying to kill a guy who saunas at Equinox. Like that like it'd be a hard level. It'd be like that'd be like that'd be the meter. Like your mark, depending on the difficulty level. Legendary would be Equinox. If you could mark a guy doing the sauna at Equinox. This brings me to a thought, which is that where's that steam coming from in the steam room? Is it I'm not worried that it's poison. I don't think anyone's gonna kill me at Equinox or even 41st Street in Shape. But I'm worried that I'm inhaling like tap water. And emerging from that, if an assassin could get some poison into that, they could plume me with some death gas. That'd be a good one, Agent 47. that'd be the ultimate takedown in an Equinox. An Equinox, please make sure that you have filtered water flowing to your steam rooms. I'm paying $425 a month, and I want to inhale only the most filtered water. Let's go beyond that. I want, what's that fun drinking brand I want? I like Smart Water. I want Smart Water to be my steam in my steam room, because boy, do I need intellect in a battle like this. And of that vein, you guys have done great so far. You guys definitely have relaxed me. It's hard for me to admit because $425 is a huge amount of money. But in my case, it's worth it. You guys have really, really helped me physically. It's just a nice place to be. I'll say it. Like, sometimes I feel like my environment is confining me, especially with those tall San Francisco buildings. I feel like they're almost squishing me. But since the facilities in the Market Street location of Equinox are so nice that I almost feel like I can. It almost feels like like it psychologically allows my muscles to stretch, and I feel like I can move my body a little bit more freely. And like, think about what a complex and difficult product achievement that is, to create an environment where a person struggling with chronic pain would feel, more eager to mobilize themselves. And then there'd be all this equipment around to do that. And I mean, I did some mobilization at InShape, to be sure. I just wasn't as comfortable there. And then the facilities, the steam facilities at Equinox are so nice. Anyway, so I'm trying to justify why I joined Equinox, which I've done it many times over, because actually it's been great, and I utilize their facilities all the time. And the facilities are very nice, and the staff are so nice. And again, it's expensive, but it's designed for people who have a high income or homeless people fighting corporations. Well, I designed it. I've adapted its design to my ends. And so I think that, for a millionaire and for me, it's a good purchase. Not to encircle my persona with the millionaire crowd. Okay, so I was threatened, and I was thinking about how celebrities protect themselves from similar threats, and I decided not to go to a women's college because it was spring break and they were off breaking their springs. And so the next thought was Equinox, because that's where celebrities hide from harassing paparazzis, and that could overlap with my desire to hide from determined assassins. And it overlaps with, there's a lot of several Equinox locations in San Francisco, which is a more populous city, and that's what I was talking about before. There's the population density. I didn't want people approaching me like on lonely streets. I wanted people around to make criminals feel constrained by the expectations of society, and not stab. This is a stab motion. I'm doing stab. I shouldn't do gestures like that. I didn't want to be stabbed. There was, like, for example, I was like, a homeless person pretended to stab me, and I had to think to myself, did the Apple Corporation pay this person to pretend to stab me? And if you're curious what that looks like, I'm walking down the street, a homeless person is walking the other direction, he locks eyes with me, and I've never seen this person, and then I'm like, I shift left or I shift right to not run into him, and then he shifts similarly to maintain the whatchamacallit, I'm sure there's a fancy navigational word for this. The course of impact. We're gonna hit each other. We're on a collision course. Oh fuck yeah! I knew there was a fucking word for it. So yeah, this man. Oh my gosh, it was so intense. He literally had a pentacle tattooed on his forehead. So this man, with a pentacle tattooed on his forehead. It has like shifted. It's gonna be his, or it doesn't matter. Like, I shift to one direction, and he shifts to the same direction to maintain this collision course. And then I'm like, oh shoot, I'm gonna run into this guy, and he's got a pentacle tattooed on his forehead. I don't want to fuck with this. So then I shift to the other direction, to the left, and he shifts to the left, and I'm walking, and he's walking, and if you're thinking about yourself, well, two people are walking at each other, and they're on a collision course, and then the fucking guy is shifting to maintain this collision course. Aren't you gonna collide soon? Yes, and that's what happened. We fucking, like, we just collided into each other. But here's, like, it wasn't just a collision. We didn't just walk into each other. He did like when you stab a person, like, there's one gesture you can make, which is like you do an upward gesture into their torso. And so he did that. he did that, and he didn't have a knife in his hand. He couldn't have had a knife in his hand. I'm thinking to myself, did he have a switchblade that wasn't open? But no. I don't think he had anything in his hand. But he did that stabbing gesture, that stabbing motion, and it impacted my like my rib cage, or maybe like my abdomen. I think it was like what's like the what would you call it, the abdominal area. And I guess I remember it like it hit me so hard I made a noise. It like it pushed air out of me, and I turned into like a horn, or like a squeaky toy. And then here's the other thing. Like, he hit me so hard, I didn't, because like you can get hit so hard that you don't know exactly what happened at that site. So like I didn't know if the skin had been broken. I didn't know if there was a knife in his hand. I was super startled. Well, yeah, and so that unfortunately there was actually people around. Like there's people maybe just 30 feet away who saw it. Why did I bring up this story? Oh yeah, I'm talking about like how I felt unsafe. Okay, so that happened. That happened in the aftermath of all of this. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, Brian, that sounds like you can't even walk around on the street. Sounds like homeless people with pentacles on their forehead are pretending to stab you. Yes. So I didn't feel safe in Santa Cruz. I didn't feel safe. I'm laughing because it's like on a narrative level, it's funny. And I don't really feel scared anymore. Like, frankly, so at that point in time, I wasn't wearing armor at that point in time, but I did start to wear armor like essentially all the time at that point in time. And I don't really feel scared of people like that, just because, like, frankly, a knife attack doesn't even feel that serious anymore. I've been so worried about gun attacks for months now. Like, the idea of a homeless person with a knife, I literally just conceptualized that as I could manage the threat. I would feel like that would be a low-class threat at this point in time. Anyways, so but at that point in time, like, homeless people were pretending to stab me. Men were approaching me and offering me sleeping bags in the drizzling rain. What else was happening? People were telling me where I was driving the day prior. And so I wanted more security, and I thought I would join Equinox, because that's how celebrities get security. And I had money to spend. I also remember thinking to myself, like, being under assassination threat is not the point. Is not the time to be frugal when spending can literally help you thrive. Because the thinking is, like, if you die, you can't spend your money, okay? And so, like, you don't want to like expend all your money too. Like, I frequently thought about contracting private security just so that I would have, like, essentially a trained person with a body camera near me all the time. But I opted not to. I just moved to San Francisco. So I slept I found a parking structure that was immediately adjacent to a police station. It's called Central Station, and the parking structure is right across the street from it. And so I read on Yelp that the community there feels great about how safe that parking structure is, because the cops are right next to it and no one stops and robs your car. And I'm thinking, well, gosh, the Agent 47 is not going to get up there. Agent 47 is going to be fucking just get it out. The Agent 47 would dress as a cop. Fuck. Anyway, so my hope was that being next to this whatchamacallit, this police station would help protect me from assassination. And admittedly, I didn't get assassinated, so thank you. Thank you, Central Station. Thank you, SFPD. So I would sleep in that parking structure for $36 a night. And I do it on the top level so I get fresh air, although that made me afraid of snipers, honestly, and as well as rocket attacks, although no one's ever used a rocket to conduct an assassination in the United States. People have been shot with rifles, though, and, like, frankly, if you knew I was up there, and there was like dozens of buildings around where you could kill me from, but I would sleep on the top level just because I didn't want all the fumes, and I braved the snipers. I don't mean to be insensitive. Actually, a lot of our soldiers really do have a serious time with snipers, and those guys are heroes. So I I never was really seriously concerned. There was only one day where I was concerned about a sniper threat, and it was New Year's, and I was just very stressed. So I would sleep in the parking structure across from Central Station, but you can't spend all day in your car. So I would also visit these Equinox locations, and they are beautiful. Let me say, Equinox leadership, you have totally succeeded in location. Except for some of those lower quality Los Angeles ones, the Los Angeles locations where you have to bring your own lock. You guys need to touch that up. I don't like having to bring my own lock. That's restrictive. I want a uniform experience everywhere I go. Make it happen, Equinox. I'm giving you $425 a month. So all the San Francisco locations are beautiful. Incredible. They're like, some of them are literally in historic buildings. It's some of the most beautiful buildings I've ever seen. And I joined Market Street location just by random. It was totally happenstance, but it really lucked out because they have executive membership, which means you get a dedicated locker, dedicated laundry, dedicated access to the exclusive executive locker room and steam room, which is where I've gotten several $1 million worth of legal and HR advice, as well as made incredible connections in the jewelry business, the bag design business, art business. Holy shit! That fucking locker room's awesome. I'll also shout out the Walnut Cafe, Santa Cruz's best cafe. I'm headed there right now. So I needed more security. Celebrities go to Equinox for more security. I went to Equinox Market Street by happenstance, but it was a great happenstance because that's the best location in the world. Shout out to General Manager Chelsea, who runs that place like Atlantis. It's an oasis there. So here's the security reasons. It's of course the most luxurious location in San Francisco, and has the executive membership upgrade. But what else does that location get you? Incredible security. They've got security at the drive-in driveway, which is literally, it's so cool. You do this. You do a long spiral down the underground routes of the Four Seasons in San Francisco, and then you come to the dedicated Equinox parking lot, which is like hundreds of feet underground, and it's all extensively guarded. The walls are bristling with cameras and the watchful eyes of shaded agents. And so you're gonna you reach the underground parking lot. There's a guard at the elevator. He's incredibly kind, and at both sides of the elevator, bottom of the top of the elevator. And then there's a guard in the lobby. And sometimes that guy carries a submachine gun. It's really cool. They don't ask them if they can't let you hold it. I asked, and it's not. They don't. The policy says that only the guard can hold the machine gun. And then the lobby, they check your identity there. And they're great. All the staff are great. Shout out to George and Sena. Who else? All the staff are just fantastic. Actually, and I'm not just saying that. That's genuinely above average staff. Equinox really succeeds in staffing, and you might not be surprised because they charge such a premium, but I'm surprised because staffing is so hard. Which is why I'm so impressed with Michael, and which is why I'm a member of Matreon, and which is why you shouldn't judge me for being a member of that spa, because it's highly economical, and I know how to choose good spas. So yeah, I had good security at the Equinox location. Many levels of guards. Think about how many dudes you'd have to kill if you were Agent 47. It'd be tough. Plus, especially that submachine gun guy. How are you going to close the distance between the elevator and that dude? Well, you'd probably dress up as what you do is you dress up as an Equinox member. Yeah. Okay, so you'd kill the Equinox member in the elevator, and then you'd put his body in the little hole in the top, and then you'd put on his clothes, and then you'd, you know, rewire the elevator so it went up the rest of the way. And then you'd open up the door, and, you know, there's so many members. There's hundreds of members. The guards can't remember everyone's face. They're just cordial. And so you just smile at the guard. And then you'd also have the, oh, that'd be interesting. So the Equinox app, it works really cool. It's designed to prevent actually issues just like that, where, you know, they don't want your friend using your membership or anything. So you have to download the app, and then the app actually uses your location to ensure that you are signing in at the club where you are signing in. So essentially your membership is closely anchored to your phone. So Agent 47 would have to he would have to capture your phone. But then I'm thinking, like, oh no, because like they could, yeah, you could just put your dead thumbprint on that shit. Well, like, but then a lot of our modern devices just have face scan, and if you were dead, then he couldn't unlock your device, which means he couldn't reach the app, which means he couldn't get past the front desk, which means he couldn't get to me in the executive locker room, which means Agent 47 is fucked, and my submachine gun guard is gonna murk you. But like, if he was able to, like, if you had an old phone, like for example, if you were rocking my my classic old rose gold SE, which I built my first app. I built the app that got me a job on Apple in this phone. It has super nostalgia for me. But see how that guy has a thumbprint reader. So Agent 47 could just hold your thumb up to that that thing, and then he could unlock your phone, navigate to the Equinox app, press the sign in app, and you know, if you were a good Agent 47 would choose a mark, like would choose a what's the right word? He'd enter the elevator with a person who looked like him, like honestly like me, and he'd kill me. But it's funny because I'm also the mark, so he'd have to find another person who looked like him and like me. That'd be so interesting. Oh, that'd be cool if he pretended to be me after killing me to get out of Equinox without getting caught. That'd be a good one. That'd be a good move, Agent 47. You sly. If you could do that, you deserve it. You deserve the whatever awards and you know, like achievements. They should pop up and annoy you. So, oh yeah, we're talking about how Agent 47. So yeah, if Agent 47 had one of those old phones, he could just put your dead thumbprint on the phone and then put your body up in the little alcove above the elevator, and then, you know, open up the elevator to the lobby, and then walk his sort of similar looking body over to the lobby and sign in with the location gated sign-in feature. And you know, because the attendants aren't too attentive, and again, there's hundreds of members, and some people only come, you know, maybe. Although that'd be interesting. What if Agent 47 sabotaged himself by deciding to try and impersonate a very frequent member like myself, and then someone like Sana was like, "You're not Brian. You're Agent 47 trying to get into our locker room to commit a murder," and then the submachine gun guard would totally murk that guy. Fuck you, 47. Well, I mean, I would say that guy was sort of unscrupulous. His trajectory was sort of complex in the lore of that universe. But to whatever extent he was a pro-social actor, I support him. But honestly, murdering random people for contract is not pro-social. I don't think that's good. And so, Agent 47, if you did come for me just out of, you know, profiteering, you're not Apple. Well, you are Apple quality, but you're not Apple morality. You're not Apple team. You're like the imposters. Well, no, the apples, the Apple imposters are low morality and low quality. So yeah, Agent 47. Hopefully, we can form an alliance. And if you do use that trick where you impersonate me to get out of Equinox, that's just very cool. You definitely deserve the kill and the you know, bounty. I should tell people to look for imposters who have a what is it? A barcode on the back of their head. That'd be funny. Okay, yeah. So let me make sure I've driven home why it's totally justified and legitimate for me to be a member of Equinox, and why no one should judge me or think I'm a profligate or you know, wasteful person. It's because I got great security, and Agent 47 is never going to get in there, and it made me feel great and safe. And the side, like, I wasn't even expecting to have such good networking opportunities. Like, that was just a totally accidental outcome. But it was great. Every part of that membership worked out great. And anyone interested in, you know, promoting a pro-social communal atmosphere by sitting in a steam room should join us. It is $4.25 a month though, and so yeah, it's highly restrictive there, the pricing. And yeah, again, my biggest thanks to the staff. The staff are what makes that place possible, and you guys work so hard. And gosh, like, you know, because I struggle with physical pain, like I think about how hard it'd be for me to do your jobs, and I really appreciate it. Anyway, thank you so much. You guys are great. Have a good day. I realized I didn't specify in the earlier video that like Face ID doesn't work if you're dead or asleep. And if you're curious, you know, it's because we did it. The engineers are like, we need to protect the customer. Agent 47 is going to murk you in an elevator and try and get, you know, use your identity to get to, you know, a VIP and the, not that I'm a VIP or anything, you know, a random homeless fellow in the executive locker room of the Market Street Equinox in San Francisco. Yeah, and we can't allow that because we have a responsibility to protect the privacy of our customers even after death. Fuck you, Agent 47. You'll never get their identifications. Well, okay, so that was actually a problem with the like thumb ID, because you know you can chop off someone's thumb. I walk around with a bunch of thumbs actually, you know, from my slaughtered coworkers. I shouldn't say that kind of stuff. I'm never gonna get aggressively violent with any of my coworkers. For obvious strategic reasons. It doesn't soothe me. So anyone who would make that claim in a courtroom would be stupid, and a judge who would entertain that thought would be a disgrace to justice and an embarrassment to the robe and the gavel. Anyway, so I won't hurt my coworkers, nor do I have their thumbs for stealing their identities after I murder them. But hypothetically you could, and so that you might call that like a vulnerability. Although it's not really that big of a vulnerability. It's not really ever in any kind of realistic circumstance a risk to. Like, I'd be curious if there's ever any historical example of a dead person's thumb. It's actually sort of cool though, because like that's very much from the movies, you know. And now that there's so much thumbprinting on phones, you could totally imagine. Like, imagine if the police found a body, and they wanted to check the most recent calls, and they were grappling with themselves. Should I use this dead body thumb to unlock this phone to try and solve this murder, so I can, execute my investigation quickly, catch the bad guy, or should I respect the deceased's privacy and not violate their thumb privacy? It's a tough, as we've discussed, policing is tough. Anyway, so I just wanted to make it clear that the reason that I modeled like my 12 mini here, if Agent 47 did kill me or someone who looked like me in an elevator and attempted to use their phone to get through the identity check at the front desk of the Equinox locations, they couldn't do it. They'd have to do that. They'd have to unlock your phone before you were dead, which would be oh god, that'd be macabre. Fuck. Agent 47 would grab you, unlock your phone, then murk you. Okay, we'll try to find the engineering. You need to find a way to make to detect if the person is under duress. Because Agent 47 is going to get into those phones, and we need to protect that privacy. It's the only thing that keeping the assassins out of the private locker rooms. Equinox has done their share in making a good app design that has location permissions. We need to do the next step by making sure that no one can get into that phone, even a 47 agent, who just grabbed you from behind.